Arkansas. This is trailer number 2. Went up there yesterday and picked up trailer number 1, took it over to Tennessee, and then came back about halfway back last night. Started out in Oakland, Tennessee this morning, and got over here, picked up trailer number 2, and I'm getting ready to head back to Tennessee and deliver this one, and hopefully I get there before 5 o'clock tonight. And kind of pushed on the clock here, so we're going to do every bit of what the speed limit says. The speed limit is 70 miles an hour out here, so we're going to do that today. Normally I do 60 miles an hour, but because of this logbook shit, I've been forced to drive a little faster than normal. It's all in the name of safety, you know. So anyway, yesterday I was leaving. I was about right here yesterday, and I called over to Tennessee to the customer where I'm delivering the trailer. Never been there before, so I'm calling it. I typed it in on Google Earth to find their location, and where Google Earth put the pin, there's a highway, which is the right highway, but it was just nothing but trees. You know, there's no businesses or anything there. I figured I better call them and find out. Maybe that's a wrong address or something. Who knows? And you get over there after, you know, after business hours, you can't find anything out. So better call during the day. So I called over there. Talk to the lady, and she answers the phone, and she says, "How may I help you?" I mean, really strong accent. And I know some people say I've got an accent. I don't think I have much, but it depends on where you're at. If you're in Boston, you think I got a heck of an accent. If you're in Texas, sounds normal. You know, here in the Midwest, sounds normal. I go to Oregon, oh, you got a heck of an accent. So anyway, this girl, she had a really strong Tennessee accent. So she says, "How can I help you?" I said, "Well, I need to talk to so-and-so." "Well, she's busy on the phone. Is there anything I can do for you?" I says, "Yeah, I could. I need the directions into your facilities." And she tells me, "Go down here to the stoplight and turn right and do this." And okay, all right, that sounds good. And boy, she's just sweet as can be, you know, just really, really deep accent. Well, the only time I'd ever been, this is Pulaski, Tennessee. It's straight south of Nashville on Interstate 65. It's just slightly off the interstate, about 5 miles. But anyway, a little town of Pulaski, Tennessee. And the only dealings I've ever had with Pulaski, Tennessee was about 25 years ago. I was out there on Interstate 65 driving along, and I got me a speeding ticket. As the CB lingo would say, I was out there cruising up and down what was it called? I'm screwing this up. Anyway, Smokey Bear's out there with his Kodak taking pictures, and he gave me a safe driving award. So that's CB lingo, right? Anyway, so I got me a safe driving award. And it was, I don't know, 10 mile an hour over the speed limit, something like that, you know, $75 fine. Well, if you ever look at the fines on there, it's not just a $75 fine, it's a $12 state fine, a $12 county fine, a $10 maintenance administration fee, and $40 worth of court costs, or something like it. It all adds up to whatever, you know. So they have all these different fees on a ticket, and they add up to whatever the total fine is. The fine might only be 15 bucks, but all the administration costs that go along with it gives you the big ticket. So anyway, back then, 25 years ago, this is about 87, 89, 91, somewhere along in there. Well, that was back before CDL. We just had Class A chauffeur license. And with CDL, that's more of it's a federally mandated, you know, the different things you have to do to get a CDL. It's offered by the state, but the state has to go by certain federal guidelines. And one of those guidelines is if you get a ticket, they gotta send it into a main office. It's in Colorado Springs, I think, or Pueblo, Colorado, somewhere down in Colorado. And you've they gotta send it in there, and that way you keep a record of all the tickets you've had on your CDL. Well, back then there was no such thing as a CDL. They just had Class A licenses. And if you had a Texas driver's license and you're in Tennessee, Tennessee doesn't give a crap about putting points on your Texas driver's license. All they want is the money. So, it was common knowledge with other drivers and everything. Drivers had told me about this. Go into the judge before your court date. You get your ticket here, and your court date's 2 months down the line. Go in somewhere in the middle there, about a month in, and say you want to talk to the judge. Not in the court, but like in his office. Okay? And maybe he'll defer it somehow, right? Well, Tennessee and other states, but Tennessee I was familiar with. Tennessee had the thing called deferred adjudication, deferred judgment, deferred adjudication, and what they would do is basically, well, we don't want you to lose your driver's license and all that, you know, you're a good member of society and all that, we want to keep you out there trucking and hauling our freight. We just won't send the $10 or $15 or $20 fine into the state, therefore the state won't record it, and the county still, that judge in his court, in his county, his little jurisdiction, they still got their money. The state didn't get theirs though, and it didn't go on a record. Okay, so if it did that in Texas, usually it wasn't that. It was, instead of paying a fine, they'd want you to go to a defensive driving class or something like that. But there were ways to, if you got a ticket, to keep it off your driving record. Well, anyways, I go into this place and I'm going to walk in. I walk in and ask the receptionist, can I talk to the judge? Sure, have a seat and I'll get with him in a minute. Okay. A few minutes, 10 minutes goes by, whatever, and this lady comes out. And I had in my mind, I was going to go in there and Your Honor, I sure, you know, throw myself on the mercy of the court, you know. Please, you know, I'd like to take this, keep this off my record somehow. How can I do that? And I had all planned out in my head what I was going to say. You know, please, you know. I walk in the door, and I mean, before I even get through the door, he's, oh, take that hat off. We don't wear hats inside around here. Think Colonel Sanders. Okay? I look down at his desk. The plaque on the front of his desk says, Honorable Judge Robert E. Lee, the third, or fourth or something. I think it was the third. And I'm like, And then the way he barked at me about my hat and everything, I'm like, I ain't even going to ask. I was just, how much is my fine? And I turned around and walked out. But I asked him before I left. You know, he was a nice, stern man, but nice guy, you know. Anyway, I asked him, this is Robert E. Lee, is that in relation to the you know, the general? And he goes, yeah, I think he says his great-grandpa or something like that. I don't remember. But anyway, he, grandpa or great-grandpa, one of the two. So anyway, that's all the thing I ever knew about Pulaski was the Judge Robert E. Lee the third or fourth or whatever it was. So I asked the lady, I says, is the judge still there? And she says, you mean Robert E. Lee? No, he passed on a few years back. So I got a kick out of that. That just Southern hospitality, Southern accents, and just really nice. She's just a sweet lady. I just talked to her on the phone. I never met her. She was gone by the time I got there last night, and she was gone. But I just thought I'd throw that little story about Robert E. Lee the third. Yeah, anyway. So anyway, we're heading back down the same way from whence we came. Go down through Memphis and across into Tennessee. Highway 64 over to Pulaski. Get in there and drop this trailer tonight. And hopefully, I asked dispatch if they had a load this morning. They said, no, we're still looking for something going out west. So keep your fingers crossed, something going toward Phoenix. So anyway, with that, I guess that's it for today. We've already done our music, so y'all have a good one. Ciao.